Let's see.
Hello, my name is Marianne Barnett, and I am the transition coordinator for the outreach services for the deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind. Thank you for watching this segment of our virtual job fair. Today, our guest is Lily, who I'm going to let introduce herself, and she's going to talk to us today about things to include and not include in all your various social media accounts when you are a job hunter. Lily, please introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, Marianne. And welcome everyone else. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we begin, like Marianne just mentioned, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Lily Santian, and I am the marketing director for Sauk Valley Bank. Sauk Valley Bank, or SVB as we call it, for those of you who aren't familiar, is actually a locally owned, community-centric bank with numerous locations right here in Illinois where I am, as well as one in Wisconsin. And I'm lucky to say that I've been with them now for the past 2 years now. It's really flying though. It's amazing. Um, Over the next few minutes that we're going to have here together, I wanted to go over some information that I hope you find valuable, as well as take away and utilize in your everyday life. So get ready to make some mental notes as we key in on some information and hone in on some specific pieces. Now, in the various positions that I've held throughout my career, I've also been able to play a part in the hiring process as well. With that experience, I've been able to gain some knowledge to help in educating students of all ages and even prospective hires about one specific thing that I know many of you out there know a lot about. It has to do with digital, has to do with communication. And I'm sure by now you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about social media. And more specifically, though, I'm talking about your social influence and how you present yourself in the digital world. It's a funny thing because social media has been a world changing technology that's had both positive and negative influences. Social media brings us all closer. It gives us the chance to interact with people that maybe we otherwise wouldn't be able to. It lets us share stories, share pictures, share videos. It lets us communicate, lets us interact with one another. It serves as an outlet for creativity and even serves as a journal for some of us. It gives us a glimpse into others' lives, as well as us giving a glimpse into our own lives. And I personally don't know of another time that has rung more true than now in being so digitally inclined and digitally focused. And I can't get past how fitting this presentation is now, being that 1 year ago, yesterday, the World Health Organization officially declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. What happened after that? We all had to quickly adapt and become even more so digitally inclined. Those who had never Zoomed before, those who had never used Facebook before, all of a sudden found themselves quickly growing to understand it and utilize it like it was second nature. For as much, though, as we all use these platforms, we also need to be equally cognizant of what we share. Now, for all of you Marvel fans out there, what's that famous Spider-Man quote? Do you know what I'm talking about? With great power comes great responsibility. And for everything that I just mentioned, that social media lets us do, we're now understanding that social media really is a great power. So now, are the gears turning a little bit? Are you beginning to understand perhaps a little more about what the effects of social can do? Kind of, a little bit, right? Let's take it one step further though. Did you know that 58% of employers look up candidates on social media as part of the selection process? And this number is actually on the rise. Another Microsoft survey found some more similar stats. Of the people surveyed, 21% have been fired from a job. 16% lost out on getting a job. And 14% lost out on a college of their choice. All because of social media. So now, what more does this tell us? It tells us that employers do utilize social media to do their own research on candidates and even on existing employees. Employers look at social media accounts for many different reasons. But most importantly, they just want to make sure that a candidate will be a good fit for their company. So with all of this in mind, as you're getting ready to apply for a job, do a digital audit on yourself. Google yourself. Have you ever done that? What comes up? Look through your social profiles. Same thing. What comes up? Just like many of us have been told at one point or another, make sure you always put your best foot forward, but not just in the real world, in the digital world as well. And how do we do this? We don't want to erase our presence on these digital platforms because, like we mentioned earlier, they do serve an excellent purpose for all of us. We just need to be sure that what we're putting out there, we wouldn't mind talking about to anyone and everyone. So, how do you ensure you have a good digital presence? I'd like to preface this by saying some of these may seem like common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people I've talked to that don't even think about these things or just don't think that they matter, but they kind of do. So let's go through them. Number one, keep your posts clean. Don't post any inappropriate photos, videos, or information. Nothing about drinking or drugs, no discriminatory content of any kind, or anything having to do with any criminal behavior. Number two, be kind. Don't any previous companies you've worked for or fellow employees. Even now, that applies to classmates or even your professor. Keep it professional. Communication skills are red flags for hiring managers. So, like we just mentioned, keep it clean and appropriate. Number four, fix that screen name. Again, make sure it's appropriate. Different platforms, of course, call for differences in screen names. I get it. For example, LinkedIn, it's generally just your name, whereas others let you be a little bit more creative. Use your best judgment, though, and go with something you wouldn't be embarrassed sharing. Number five is my favorite, join LinkedIn. If you haven't already, jump on the platform and open an account. It's an excellent networking tool and one platform that hiring managers, myself being one of them, that hiring managers get excited about when they find their candidate are active on here. Great positive way to build your professional presence. Number 6, be positive. We know it's difficult to be positive all the time. Stuff happens, life happens. We get it. Just don't let it come out in your status updates. Negativity can easily translate into complaining. It just doesn't look good. Number 7, use a professional email address. So before you start sending out those resumes, make sure you set yourself up with a professional email. If you have a school given one, use that. Or if you have to go with one from Gmail, maybe, keep it simple. Use your name and or your profession. Mine used to be lsantian@colum.edu. That's a great one. Go with something like that. Number 8, represent yourself in a manner that suggests you'd be a good hire. Do post those travel photos of yourself in front of maybe some artwork or interesting buildings, historical landmarks even. Craft thoughtful and insightful comments. You don't have to write an essay, but posts like this show that you have some depth. Talk about your interests and your hobbies. Employers and graduate schools, they all like well-rounded people. Showing yourself engaging in various activities like sports, working in a garden even, volunteering, making art, engaging in just various hobbies conveys that you have a lot of interests, and that looks amazing. Whatever you're talking about online, though, make it so that you don't talk about things you wouldn't want to talk about in an interview. The main point to keep in mind is that you should always be conscious about what you post online. You don't have to be paranoid about it, unless perhaps you're planning to, I don't know, run for public office or work for the government. But you should remember that everything you post contributes, even if in just a small way, to your overall image. When you apply for jobs, graduate school, law school, medical school, maybe, or even when you're applying for grants or scholarships, anything that may involve any kind of scrutiny, you don't want to end up regretting something you posted in a thoughtless moment. So, to that, my friends, I say, think before you share and be a good digital citizen. Because just like this says, what happens on social media stays on Google forever. Thank you so much for your time today. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out either by email or by phone. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Lily.
Yay.
Fabulous. I was going to add if there were any questions or anything, but I think you've covered everything. You've covered the advice that I was going to ask. I was, things like that. It's all covered, and you already included your contact information. So I'm going to turn the recording part off.